cameras so I can see your hands. We're going to do a little bit of anatomy, kind of some anatomy stuff before we start moving and flowing. So we're going to work with the hands. And normally when we have our hands on the floor, the cue is to claw the mat with your fingertips, right? And it works well enough to stabilize and strengthen the hands, but we want to start to fire up your forearms too and get the forearms to turn on. So what we'll end up doing, it's called lumbrical flexion. And instead of clawing and moving from your knuckles of the hands, just flex from this part of your hand here, these knuckles here, and you're gonna do this action. All right, so your fingers stay straight and you're doing this. Right? And so what you should feel is like the base of your wrist is going to press up towards the top of your fingertips and your fingertips towards the base of your wrist. Right? And that's the action that we're trying to cultivate today in our hands, just like this. Right? So just do that for a couple times and feel how that feels. You should start to feel your forearms fire up a little bit more. Right? Now relax your fingers for a moment. If you kind of claw them out with your fingertips, you're not accessing as much strength in your forearms as you can. So what I like to try to do is actually, like any one of these fingers, just flex and bend from your middle knuckle. Right? Any one of these, doesn't really matter. And keep the rest of your fingers flat. And then so if you do that, you'll notice, for me, I can just kind of like wiggle this finger. So this hand here can move this finger at will. And I can't control that at all. I can't do anything about this finger. I can't like not let the finger flop around, right? So instead of like doing this with your fingertips, we're gonna do this, okay? So now the second thing you wanna focus on is there's this little bone right here at the very base of your wrists. It's called the capitate bone. Now, if you place your hands on the floor for a moment, at least one hand on the floor, and you kind of push down through your fingers and do that, you'll feel that there's a lot of give, like your bones actually kind of sink into the floor. But if you line your fingers up to the center of your wrist or center of your forearm and then find that very center bone there and you push down, there's absolutely no give whatsoever. That's the capitate bone. It acts like kind of like a keystone in like a keystone arch. So what we want to feel is for the weight to go from your forearms into your hand here, across your pinky and thumb side evenly throughout the rest of your palm. And while you're doing that, your hands are going to do this thing, all right? So go ahead and push, move into tabletop position on your mat, tabletop. In tabletop position, do what you normally would do with your hands. So claw them out with your fingertips, shift side to side, back and forth, round and round. Notice how you feel there. And explore with really shifting your shoulders forward, over, or even past your wrists. Feel how your forearms and your wrists feel. And then now, you'll do that same thing that we've been talking about. So you're going to lumbrical flex your hand. So you're doing this kind of action with your hand. Right? And then see if you can feel your forearms transition weight directly into that capitate bone through the pinky and thumb side of your hand while flexing your palms like we've been doing. And now start to shift side to side, round and round, back and forth, and feel how that feels. See if you can find a little bit more stability, a little more tension through your forearms to support your wrists and your hand. Good. Walk your hands as far forward towards the front of your mat as you'd like here. And in keeping that same action, push back towards child's pose for a moment. So it's going to be a very active child's pose. Your hands are still trying to lumbrical flex. The weight of your forearms are trying to push forward through that capitate bone first and then through the rest of your palm. And from that action, lift your hips, tuck your toes under, and push straight up and back to downward facing dog. Keep your elbows straight, keep your arms straight, and lift up and back. You can pedal your feet, shift your hips side to side a few times. Do the things you normally would do in a down dog. But see if you can keep that same activation through your hands so that you're not just dumping weight into your wrist, but your whole palm and your whole hand is really active, pushing away from the floor. A couple more moments here. See if you can observe the sensation of your weight sinking through your forearms into the capitate bone and through your hands. But then as your hands press through your mats, the earth pushes and rises back up against your palm and into your forearm, back into your elbows and your shoulders, and lift your hips up and back a little bit more. And lift your heels high. And push through your hands just to walk forward towards the front of your mat. Take a forward fold, all the way forward. Yeah. And hands to your shins, lift halfway. Fold forward, lift your hips up, and press your palms into the floor. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit, feel free to do so. Just really press your palms into the floor. Do that one more time. Hands to your shins, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward, and shoo the dog away. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms high to the ceiling. And bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Do that same lumbical flexion in your hands. So you're gonna flex at those fingers and lean back. And inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, fold forward. And lift halfway, drag your ribs towards the front of your mats. Fold forward and lift your hips up to the ceiling. Stand tall, reach your arms high. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms like you're doing a pull-up, and flex at your hands, that lumbical flexion. Good, arms reach high, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Good, inhale, lift halfway, drag your ribs forward, push your hips back. And one more time, exhale, fold forward, press your palms, press your hands into the floor. Stand tall, arms reach high. And then standing back bend. Bend your elbows, lift your chest, flex at your hands. And arms reach high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. And lift halfway, drag your ribs towards the front of the room. And then step your right foot back, knee to the floor. Right foot back. Good. Reach your arms high, thumbs pull back. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms, and lean back. Flex at those hands. Good. Arms reach high again, inhale. Hands to the floor, step back to down dog. And see if you can create that same activation through your forearms, into your hands and your wrists, and flex at your hands a little bit. Good. Inhale, lift your heels high, push the floor away from you. And exhale, step your right foot forward, left knee down to the floor. And nice, done. Arms reach up, inhale. Good. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms, and flex at those hands, that lumbical flexion, just to reinforce that action. Good. Arms reach high, straighten your fingers out, reach through your ring fingers. Hands to the floor, step forward to your forward fold. Good. Lift halfway. And then fold forward. Stand tall, reach your arms high. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms, lean back. Good. One more round. Inhale, lift your arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Lift your chest, drag your ribs to the front of the room. Step your left foot back, knee to the floor. Good. Reach your arms high, pull your thumbs back. Bend your elbows, flex at your hands, feel your forearms fire up and lean back. Pull your forearms behind your peripheral vision. Good. Arms reach high one more time. And then hands to the floor, press back to downward facing dog. Feel your forearms tighten and fire up against the weight of your body. Push your hands through your mat. Good. Lift your heels high. And then step your left foot forward, right knee to the floor. Good. Awesome, Don. Reach your arms high. Good. Bend your elbows, flex at those hands, forearms pull back behind your peripheral vision. The arms reach high again, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step to the front of your mat, take a forward fold. Good. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward. Stand up, rise up, arms to the ceiling. And again, bend your elbows, cactus your arms, lean back, lift your chest. Good. Reach your arms high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Lift halfway, drag your ribs to the front of the room. Plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog. All right, so same activation through your forearms and wrists. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. And exhale, push back towards downward facing dog. Good. You're gonna do that again, but this time claw the mat with your fingertips. Do the thing that you normally would do in your with your hands, right? Claw the mat, shift forward to plank pose as you inhale. Notice how that feels, and push back towards down dog. Good. So once again, do that lumbrical flexion in your hands. Try to shift weight into that capitate bone. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the floor, keeping that same activation in your hands. Good. A cobra. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Hips pike up and back. Good. We'll do that again. Strong through your hands. Inhale, shift forward to tabletop or to plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down, slow and smooth with that same activation through your hands. And rise up to cobra, lift your chest, same activation to your forearms and hands. And push to the floor, shift back towards downward facing dog. And one more time, inhale, shift forward, plank pose. And this time, strong through your hands, chaturanga. Bend your elbows, pull yourselves forward instead of just lowering down. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Adding that into the sun salutations. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mats, pushing through your hands. And lift halfway, drag your ribs forward, push your hips back. Fold forward. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to press your palms into the floor. Stand tall, arms reach high. Hands to your heart, samasthiti. And to that same lumbrical flexion through your hands that you feel this space between your palms. Good. Arms reach high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to down dog. All right, so inhale, shift forward, plank pose. And exhale, chaturanga. Up dog as you inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Good. Strong through your hands, push through your forearms. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. And then push the floor away from you. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward. Stand up tall, reach your arms high. And bend your elbows, cactus your arms, lean back. Good. All right, arms reach high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Lift halfway, drag your ribs towards the front of your mats. Plant your palms, take your choice. So a vinyasa or downward facing dog. As you settle into down dog, do that same action you've been doing with your hands the whole time. Feel your forearms try to lift away from the floor. Imagine that your fingertips are actually trying to tilt your mat forward and through your the floor versus just pressing the mat away from you. And one more time. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat, pushing through your arms. Lift halfway, drag your ribs forward. Fold forward, hands reach towards the floor. Stand tall, arms reach high. Hands to your heart, samasthiti. Create that space between your palms, lumbrical flexion of your hands. Arms reach high, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. And lift halfway, drag your ribs forward. Plant your palms, vinyasa or downward facing dog, your choice. So you can keep that same action through your hands and your forearms. So every time that your hands are on the floor today, is another opportunity to feel that connection of tension and stiffness to your forearms so that you can control and support your wrists and your fingers. Good. Big inhale through your nose. A slow, smooth, steady, open mouth exhale to release. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step forward to lunge. And keep your left hand down. Same thing with your left hand. You're going to try to push the floor away from you to give yourself some stability and some leverage, and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. As your left hand tries to maintain the same action that we've been working on all class, rotate your navel, rotate your chest and shoulders, and reach your right arm up and back behind you a little bit more. And take one more breath here. Exhale, hands to the floor, and then straighten your front leg for a moment. And inhale, shift forward lunge, plant your palms, and try to keep your palms flat. Exhale, shift back towards that straight leg, and lift your hips up and back. Do that a couple times. Inhale, straighten your, bend your front knee, come forward, lunge. And then exhale, straighten your front leg, fold forward. Do that one more time. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, press back. Good. Inhale, shift forward, lunge. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. And exhale, step back, a vinyasa or downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step forward to lunge. Right hand stays down. Inhale, left arm reaches high. Push the floor away from you through that right arm and right shoulder. Reach your left arm and left shoulder up and back. Try to broaden across your chest a little bit more. As you inhale, reach your sternum forward towards the front of the room, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, rotate and twist a little bit more. And last breath here. And exhale, hands down, straighten your front leg. You can hop your back foot forward a little bit if that helps you to keep your hands to the floor here. If you have blocks, you can place your hands on blocks. And then same thing here. Inhale, shift forward, lunge, bend your front knee. And exhale, shift back, straighten your front leg. Couple more times on your own. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. One more time. Take the length of your breath to move through. The next time you come forward, lunge, plant your palms firmly down. And then again, step back, a vinyasa, a down dog, anything in between, cobra, locusts, whatever you want to do. Good. Knees to the floor, child's pose, a moment to rest. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky if you're practicing outside. And take slow, smooth breaths here so that your inhales are as smooth as your exhales. And the start and end of your breath are as smooth and even with each other. Good. Big inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, release, and let it go. Good. If they're not already there, reach your hands as far forward as you can. Lift your forearms, lift your elbows off the floor, but stay in child's pose here. Lift your hips just enough so you can tuck your toes under. Do that same lumbrical flexion of your hands. Fire up through your forearms, reach through your shoulders, and then without shifting forward into tabletop, just stay in this child's pose shape, but stretch your legs long and lift your hips up to the ceiling for downward facing dog. Nice. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step forward to lunge. Good. Reach your arms high, pull your thumbs back. And then open out to warrior two. Okay. So, doesn't matter where your legs are. You can get your legs as far away from each other as you want to, as close together as you want to. But with your hands, turn your palms up to the ceiling. Do that lumbrical flexion of your palms, of your hands. And so this action here, right? This action of, right? And then flex your wrist just a little bit. Like you're trying to hold water in your palms and you're trying to scoop water up. And flex your elbows a little bit. So now you're imagining that you're holding like a big boulder across your shoulders here, right? So instead of your arms forward, pull your arms back behind you, like your atlas holding the boulder or the globe behind you. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior, holding that boulder. Good. And then exhale, extended side angle. So keep your arms exactly where they are. Hold that boulder and reach it forward towards the front of your mat. And do that a couple times. Inhale, reverse warrior. Broaden across your chest a little more. Pull your elbows back a little more. And exhale, extended side angle. Good. One more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend, and stay here. As you're staying in extended side angle, try to rotate your navel up to the ceiling to rotate your chest. Like you're trying to turn the whole boulder over. Good. Last inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, hands to the floor. Take your choice. We'll meet back in down dog. Just notice how your shoulders feel. Good. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step forward to lunge. And reach your arms high, crescents. And open out to warrior two.
Nam, we lost your camera again.
Uh-oh.
You can have you log back out and back in real quick. That worked before.
Yeah. Hang out in warrior two.
Everyone can hold warrior two for a while.
All right, I'm back, but the video's not working for some reason. All right, well, you'll just hear my voice. All right, so flex your palms, flex your wrists. I'll keep on working the video. Flex your elbows, flex your shoulders a little bit. So that, again, you're holding that boulder. There we go. All right, holding that boulder between your hands. Shift your boulder back behind your shoulders. Inhale, reverse warrior. Okay, keep holding that boulder. Exhale, extended side angle. Good. Keep going. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, extended side angle. Hold there. Hold that boulder over your head, behind your shoulders, and then rotate your whole torso up to the ceiling. Like you're trying to turn your boulder to face the sky as well. Good. Reverse warrior one last time. And then hands to the floor, a vinyasa or down dog. Just release that tension, that strength through your shoulders. Good. We'll just do that one more time. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step forward to lunge. Reach your arms high, crescent. And open out warrior two, holding onto that boulder behind your shoulders. Good. Inhale, reverse. Really flex at your hands, that lumbrical flexion. Exhale, extended side angle. Fire up through your forearms. Inhale, reverse warrior. Feel your biceps and your triceps fire up. Exhale, extended side angle. Rotate up to the ceiling. Turn your chest, turn your shoulders. One more round. Inhale, reverse warrior. You're trying to push your boulder back behind you. And exhale, hands to the floor, a vinyasa or a downward facing dog. Good. Last round, left leg high. Step forward to lunge. Reach your arms up, pull your thumbs back. Open out to warrior two. All right, hold that boulder behind your shoulders, lift your chest a little bit. See if you can get your elbows to pull back behind you so that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Good, keep going. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Good, last time. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands down to the floor, a vinyasa, a down dog. You know your choice by now. And push through the floor, flex your hands, that lumbrical flexion. Draw your hips up and back. Good. All right, knees to the floor, sit up for a moment. We're gonna end up on our bellies, but with your arm in this 90 position here, 90-degree position here, right? So as you lie down on the floor, you come onto your bellies and take your right arm out to your side, 90 degrees in a cactus position. Slide your elbow just slightly forward of your shoulder so that your elbow isn't behind your shoulder, but in front of your shoulder. That's gonna help couple your shoulder to your arm to your shoulder blade. And then from there, roll toward your right side. Do the same action of lumbrical flexion through that right hand. If your head is off the floor, you can place like a blanket or a pillow, something or a block underneath your head here. And fire up your forearm. Push the floor away from you. As you push your floor away from you, rotate toward your left a little more and try to reach your chest towards the left side of your mat. And stretch out through your chest. And slowly roll back towards center. Switch sides. Left arm out to the side. Look at your elbow. Make sure that it is slightly in front of your shoulder. And then roll towards your left. And flex that left hand. Stiffen through your forearm. And as you rotate through, pull your chest towards your right a little bit more. Press your left arm through the floor. And slowly roll back to center. We're going to set up the same thing on the other side for a moment. So roll over to your right arm out to the side. And now, as you roll over to your right, back off just enough so that your right arm can lift off the floor. So instead of resting down, you're going to lift it up. You're going to hover your right arm off the floor. And with that right arm hovering off the floor, don't let it come back down again. But try to roll more toward your right. Try to roll into that stretch, but your right arm stays high. So you're really strengthening through the back of the shoulder there. As best you can, see if you can lift your hand and your wrist higher than your elbow to externally rotate your shoulder as you keep your shoulder back, as you keep your arm off the floor. And take one more breath there, and then slowly release. And do the same thing on the other side. Roll toward your left, elbow out to the side for a moment. Good. Once you've gotten as far as you can, back off enough so that you can lift your left arm off the floor. And with your left arm off the floor, roll away or roll towards the floor again. Try to lift that left arm off your mat. Yeah. Don, you can try to lift your dog up off the floor. Let's see if you can take your hand a little higher than your elbow to really externally rotate that left arm. And take one more breath there. And then slowly release. Let that go. Good. Stack your palms one on top of each other. Rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And then either wag your tail side to side or windshield wipe your feet side to side, just to let go of some tension through your lower back. Good. And then push yourselves up onto hands and knees. Swing your legs forward. We'll take a seat. All right, lean back on your hands here. All right, let's see if this works for you, Don. Cross your right foot over your left, and then your left foot over your right, or underneath your right. So a double pigeon or fire log. Good. And it doesn't matter how low your knees go. Try to roll your shoulders back and lean back. The further back you go, the easier it is for your hips to sink down. Let's take a few moments here. Good. And then let that go. Switch sides. Left foot on top of your right. Then lift your chest a little higher. Imagine that your shoulder blades were little shells and they're trying to lift your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Good. Now, moving with the breath. Lean back a little more. Inhale, release both legs. Exhale and switch. Right leg on top. Inhale, release both legs. Exhale, switch left leg on top. And back and forth on your own. Inhale to release. Exhale to switch. Now, as your hips start to warm up a little bit more, you can start to add a rock forward towards the seats and rock back to stretch your legs long. Every time that you rock back on your hands, see if you can keep that same tension through your forearms, same activation of your hands, so you're not just leaning and dumping weight into your wrists. As your hips start to warm up even more, you can start to add a forward fold if you'd like. And if your cast isn't comfortable on your knee, just place your cast in front of your knee instead of on top. And maybe add deeper fold as you go. Maybe get your hands forward a little more, reaching towards the front of your mat. And the next time that your right foot is on top of your left, you'll stay there. All right, right leg on top of left. Sit up tall. Fold forward. And get your forearms to rest on your shins for a moment. I like to use my left forearm on top of my right foot and use this sharp bone here to massage across the foot. Of course, Don, don't worry about it. Not at least on the side. Yeah. And just massage the sole of your foot, massage your big toe mound, your arches. And then fold forward. Maybe your elbows come forward in front of your shins. And let your spine round. Don't worry about how straight your spine is. Just round like you're doing child's pose. And slowly rise, lean back, switch legs. And a moment to sit up tall. Good. Right forearm on the arch of your foot, and then just massage the foot a little bit. The more that you soften up the sole of your foot, the more your knee and your hip will start softening up as well. And you use your elbow, you use the blade of your forearm. Just get some softness through that foot. And then fold forward, get your elbows in front of your shins if you'd like. If not in front of your shins, on top of your shins, and fold forward. All right, slowly rise up. Stretch your legs long. Then bounce your knees, shake your feet out. And then let your legs go wide. And flex your feet. Instead of turning your toes up towards the ceiling or out, turn your toes forward and towards the floor a little bit while your feet are flexed. That's going to internally rotate your hips, so get your thighs to roll forward as well. And with that internal rotation of your thighs, fold forward for a moment. What we're looking to do is allowing the pelvis to really tilt forward as much as it can, use that internal rotation of the hip to support and to facilitate that flexion of your pelvis. And then from there, see if you can keep your pelvis where it is, keep your spine long, and then start to turn your toes up to the ceiling one more time. See if you can feel the inner thighs start to stretch out a little bit. Good. Slowly rise. Come on up. Stretch your legs long and then lie down, flat on your backs. We'll do a few back bends. As you lie down, plant your feet, bend your knees. And you lift up into a simple bridge pose. Just for now, just a simple bridge pose. Now think about lifting your sits bones and your tailbone up and into the back of your knees. Try to tilt the front of your pelvis towards your navel a little bit more. And then lift your rib cage and chest a little higher. Roll onto the top of your shoulders a little bit more. Good. And press your chest towards the back of your mat or the top of your mat. Take one more breath there. And then slowly let your glutes come down first, then your lower back softens to the floor. Feet wide apart, wide as your mat, knees fall towards each other, constructive rest pose. And reach your arms overhead, hold on to opposite elbows. And take a big inhale through your nose. A long, slow, smooth, steady, open mouth exhale to release. Good. All right, so one more round of a back bend, your choice. A wheel pose, another bridge. If you have a block or a bolster or a blank pillow nearby, maybe a supported bridge might feel good. Up to you. If you're taking full wheel, see if you can keep that same activation of the lumbical flexion through your hands, your forearms, and your wrist, and support your forearms to lift up in that wheel. Nice, Dari. All right, and slowly come down. Draw both knees into your chest, rock side to side. Keep your right knee in, stretch your left leg long. We'll take a twist. Right. Squeeze your knee deep into your armpit or your shoulder, and then draw that leg across your body for a supine twist. And slowly back to center. Rock side to side a couple times. And left knee into your armpit, stretch your right leg long. Give yourself a good squeeze for a moment. And then guide that knee across your body, supine twist to the other side. All right, slowly back to center, rock side to side. And take happy baby, soles your feet up to the ceiling. See if you can cup your heels. So instead of holding onto the outside of your feet, cup the inside of your heels. So your hands are going to be inside of your knee, your feet. Cup your heels. You'll pull down through your heels, your knees press down towards your armpits. And keep your knees as close to your armpits as you can as you rock side to side. Now, as you continue to rock side to side, you'll keep your knees close to you, but you'll stretch one leg longer than the other. So roll over towards your right, press your right heel towards the back of your mats. And rock over to your left, straighten your left leg, press your left heel towards the back corner of your mats. And then just side to side on your own a few times here. Try to keep those knees close into your armpits so that you're getting a little bit more length through your hamstrings and the inside of your thighs. Maybe if you like to, you can try to stretch both legs long. Good. And then draw your knees into your chest one more time. Take about a minute or so to complete your practice however you would like. Another twist, figure four, a shoulder stand or head stand if you want an inversion. Whatever you feel you need to complete your practice. Good. Halfway through, if you want to take the other side of an asymmetrical pose or a counter pose. And no rush to get there. When you're ready, on your own time. Start to settle towards Shavasana. Come onto your backs. Press the back of your head into the floor. Lift your chest and slide your shoulder blades down your back body. And then bump your hips away from your ribs to lengthen your spine. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling or towards the sky. And take a moment to observe your skin and let your skin soften around your bones and your muscles. Let your muscles hang from your bones like heavy water balloons. And feel your bones just start to sink and settle against your mat. Let your bones kind of surrender and melt. Take one last big inhale through your nose. A slow, smooth, steady, open mouth exhale. Slow. And at the bottom of your breath, no rush to breathe in. Just pause and wait. Allow your body to breathe in for you. Notice how that breath feels. Let go of control of your breath. Let go of your practice and allow yourselves to sink in and settle. Shavasana. Take a moment to register the relative comfort that you feel. Rock your head side to side, wiggle your fingers, your toes. And reach your arms up above you towards the ceiling and circle your wrists around a few times. Good. Reach your arms overhead. Give yourselves a big stretch. Let your lower back arch away from the floor. And then draw your knees towards your chest. Roll towards your right side. Take a moment there. If this seat feels comfortable for you, or this position feels comfortable for you, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, press into the floor, lift yourselves off of your mat, and come up into a seat. And fold your palms, bow your chin to your chest. And really subtly do that same lumbrical flexion through your hands so that you create a little space between your palms. And breathe into that space. Notice. And take a moment to thank yourselves for showing up in mind, body, breath. Offer up this gesture of gratitude for your practice, your time on your mats. And recognize the more that we are grateful for what we have, the more we'll have to be grateful for. Namaste. All right. Thanks, everybody. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know as always. Thanks for joining. See y'all.